So today I'm going to show you how I flesh raccoon hide. We just got done skinning this boar here, and he was sitting out overnight, so all his fat's kind of chilled, kind of solid, and I got him on the beam here. It's a hardwood beam that I bought from F&T Posts. I built a hinged bracket myself. You can buy them, but I built it to attach it to the wall of my fur shed here, so it'll fold up out of the way against the wall, out of the way when not in use. I'm using a weeb fleshing knife. It's got a sharp edge for gristle, and then it's got the back edge is dull for pushing your fat and your grease and everything off. So we'll use both of those fleshing this coon today, but I'm gonna get started and show you guys how I do it, so follow along. All right, so we're gonna get him centered up here with his back first, is the way I do them. So I like to get him nice and taut. That's gonna be the key for good fleshing, easy fleshing, is gonna be to keep it nice and taut on your beam. Because if you get any bunches in the fur, they can buckle under your knife, and you may pop a hole in or rip a hole in them. So this can be the hardest part to flesh, here from the ears down to about the middle of its back. So I usually typically start off with the sharp side of my knife here, right at the ears. So I'm gonna use this sharp side here, and it's pretty sharp, so you gotta be fairly careful. We're just getting this gristle started. And as you can see, I'm just using I'm slightly going down, but I'm going left and right, like a slicing motion, more so than I am pushing at this point. So I'm just slicing that gristle right off of there. A little bit of cheek meat here, this gristle. Same thing, just want to be careful. I'm not trying to do this too fast or anything. I'm not in a hurry this morning. This is all I got to do today, really. So we'll take our time and show you guys how to do it. Main thing is just to get everything off of here. We want no fat or gristle left when we're done. So I'm just going to keep taking the sharp side of my knife here and shaving this on down. More cutting it off right now than I am, as I mentioned earlier. I'm not really pushing it yet. I'm just cutting it. Just gotta be really careful. Bit right there in the center of the back. This one's got some tough gristle on him here, running down most of his back here. Touch up a few little spots I missed on the way down. Still using that sharp side of my knife, slicing it off of here. Alright, that's about as far as I can reach. I'm not trying to go, I don't want to have to bend over and kill my back. If you're putting up a lot of numbers over the course of a day, bending over, it'll just murder your back. So I try to stay, like I said, thin arm's reach. We'll get down there to the bottom. So some people, they like to roll it just far enough to get to the next part. I like to go ahead and go 180 degrees. It's just, I don't really have a reason. It's just what I find to be comfortable for me. It works for me. So I like to get them nice and tight on the belly side. And we're gonna start again with the sharp side of our knife right here, right under this bottom lip. Some more of that kind of gristly cheek meat here. Just slice it off. That's all we're doing. Pull it down a little tighter here. It's a little bit thinner here on the bottom side, especially when you get close to those arms, than it is on the back. So just use a little bit more caution here. I'm using the sharp side still, but I'm making very, very soft strokes with it, and only where needed. You could push this, but this just what I found works well for me, without putting in a whole lot of work, because fleshing is a workout. All right, that's that. So now I'm going to begin to push with the back side of my knife. So we're using the dull side, and I'm going to start in the middle. You can see I'm just rolling that fat down. Get our arms a little bit further in the middle. Clean it. I keep a bucket over on the floor. I just like to clean my knife off. Not get any fat up here. Clean those arms up. Everything off of those. I'm not so much worried about out here at the end, because I cut them long in the skinning process, and I'll trim them once they're boarded. So clean our knife. Some of this fat. Anywhere you have an existing hole, whether it be if you made a mishap with a knife while skinning, or if it was a hole they had punched, you want to be particularly careful fleshing in those areas, because it's really easy for you to pop a hole then. That's just all right. So now got that done. Roll over. Now you see this is where we started. This is what we just done. So I'm left with this small strip here that I need to get. So I'm gonna start with my sharp side. Slight slicing motion. Once again, careful not to cut a hole. This knife, I have it pretty well sharp on this sharp side here for this really gristly coons. That's just stuff left over on my knife there. So I'm gonna rotate it one last time. This last small strip we have here. Once again, sharp side. Get it started. Rolling down. Flip over. You just want to get all that fat off, all that membrane. Leave nothing. This white hide here. All right. Now that we've got that down, about as far as I can reach, I'm gonna center up this front arm here on the end of the beam, and I'm gonna scrape out that underarm there. Be careful. Get down here around the testicles. It's easy to pop a hole in that area. This other arm here. Center it up. End of our beam. Scrape out that underarm. Don't want any fat. It causes slippage on this pelt in the drying, stretching phase. All right. So now got that done. I'm gonna come. I like to start on the back once again. So I'm gonna center up that tail there. I'm gonna come just below the end of my beam here with where I've already fleshed. And I use one of these vice grip welding clamps here, or a hand clamp, some people may call them. And I hold it there so I'm not having to dig in with my belly so hard. Take the back side of my knife. I'm just gonna roll all that fat, that grease on this coon down. I wash my pelts after I flesh, so I'm not worried about keeping a bunch of fat off the end of the pelt or off the tail or anything, because I wash mine to get all this grease off. It just makes for a better presentation. So the way I do the tails, try to center it up here. I'm just gonna go down it. I hit it kind of at an angle, and then at an angle. A little slippery here. So got that done, the center done. Rotate him just a little bit here. Cut that off. Got him centered up. Put the clamp. The clamp is the idea I got from watching Coon Creek Outdoors. If you're not familiar with his channel, go check him out. He's got a lot of good tips on fur handling and trapping. That's where I learned a lot about fur handling here. Get down that leg cleaned up. Rotate it a little bit. Get that last little bit there. Throw that in a bucket. Rotate him a little bit more. I'm not particularly worried too much about right at the bottom of the penis area, because I'm gonna cut that out in my inspection window anyway, but I am gonna try to get it as good as I can without wasting a ton of time on it. All this fat here making it harder on me, weighing it down there. We'll get it off out of my way. Like I said, just gonna clean up there just a little bit. Be cut out anyway in my inspection window. The last bit here, it's right here in between that last leg and the tail. Sometimes it'll trick you. You'll see a spot you've already fleshed, you'll accidentally throw a little bit of fat over there to it. You'll think you missed a spot, but like I said, I'm not doing this. I'm not in a race. I'm just do the best job I can here. I'm sure there's a lot of people who can do a lot better, but just what's working for me. Just dirt there. All right, so now that's our flesh coon. We got a bunch of little pieces that aren't attached. They're just on there. But now I wash my pelts. So this is gonna all come off in the wash. Pretty much you just want all that fat off, all that gristle off. And now we'll board it after we get done washing it and let it dry. Thank you guys for watching.